Welcome to our language school, The World, where our expert teachers make mastering authentic English easy and fun.
Have you ever noticed that various English-speaking countries have their own ways of saying things?
Do you ever struggle to understand English speakers from different English-speaking regions? Many of our students have problems with this.
So to help clarify, I have invited two of my colleagues to join me in comparing the variations in the English language. So we have Nigel from the UK and Shelby from the USA and myself from South Africa.
Before we start, however, we kindly ask you to subscribe, clicking on the button. That way you'll never miss out on all the valuable information and mini lessons we have on our channel. Your growing support means a lot to us.
So here we go. Let's start. We have 5 different categories, and let's start with the easiest one.
Exactly. Let's start with greetings. Now, what do you say in the UK, Nigel, when you see someone?
Well, typically, you're right, or hiya, or London area is typically like, hi mate, how's it going?
What about in the States, Shelby?
In the States, maybe we say something more along the lines of, hi there, hello. Or even in Texas, you might say, howdy.
Well, in South Africa, we just say, how's it? Which kind of has everything in it. How are you? How's it going? All kinds of things all together.
Yeah, very concise and rational. How's it?
Yeah, multi-purpose. That's very nice. Yeah.
So once we meet up, then the favorite thing that we like to do is, of course, talk about food or go out for lunch or dinner.
Very important.
Yeah.
So let's move to food. So what if I said to you guys, let's go for a braai? What would you think?
Sounds like a beer, but I'm sure it's not. A braai is like having, once you've had too many beers, you're like, give me a braai. No, presumably you're talking about a barbecue.
Exactly.
Yeah, I wouldn't know a single thing on what you're talking about. I would say, yeah, let's go for a barbecue or even BBQ. We could say.
So what about this whole issue about the end of, the dinner or your lunch, when you end up with something sweet?
Yeah, in English that would be dessert. The dessert or sweets, let's say, even if sweets are also the little caramels that you eat, let's say, but dessert generally is sweets.
Yeah, I would say about the same thing, dessert or a sweet. If you're talking about like the little sweet things, maybe they're hard or chewy, we'd call that candy specifically.
Sure. Yeah.
I must say that South African English is in this case the same as British English, so we would call it sweets or desserts. Well, let me now tell you something else. What if I said to you that together with the braai, so together with the barbecued meats, we would have brinjals?
Brinjals, yeah, sounds like pretzels, but South African national.
It sounds like an instrument to me, like a tambourine, I don't know.
Yeah, play that brinjal, girl, yeah. No, I don't know what it is, but I can see what it is. So I'm going to pretend I know. Oh yeah, brinjal, right, that's an aubergine. Because as you know, in English, British English, because of the Norman invasion back in 1066, a lot of French words have remained in the culinary part of English, let's say, so aubergine.
Whereas in American English, we went in a completely different direction. We saw that plant, we said, okay, first it's a plant, and it's vaguely shaped like an egg, so eggplant.
It's very intuitive.
Yes, very American.
So let's carry on with some more food and veggies and fruit. A little juicy dude that I love is tangerines, which would be...
Ooh, I would also call it a tangerine, honestly.
I bet she doesn't. What's it called?
Of course not. I mean,
why would she?
Of course, a nachi.
Nachi.
And actually, the spelling of nachi is also very particular because it comes from the Dutch. So it's N-A-R-T-J-I-E. You can probably see it written here.
Yes, very Lord of the Rings kind of spelling.
Oh, yeah, I see that, definitely.
And
what about Billies? Have you ever heard about Millies?
Millies?
Millies.
No.
So that goes a lot with also barbecue. So you have barbecue meat and you also have meaties that you put on the brine.
Is it the yellow thing that
Exactly.
is kind of, you bite into it, it's juicy?
Exactly.
What would you call that?
I would say sweet corn or maize sweet corn. Yeah.
I would just call it corn, simply. Most simple way.
Another thing is, another fantastic vegetable is potato. Get a potato and you can do it in loads of different ways. If you fry it, it becomes, in English, and put it in a packet, it's called a crisp. So it's crisps. While...
I would call them chips. Crisps?
Okay.
No.
Which for us, chips, obviously, for us, for British people, chips are the French fries, let's say, which is French fries.
French fries.
Yeah.
This is where we very much disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah, the same thing for South African English. We would say chips for the French fries and crisps for the ones in the packet.
Well, okay, so more or less aligned on this.
Yeah, absolutely.
You go get all your veggies and your fruit and veggies at the shop, and you've got your shopping bag or your shopping bag, yeah. Which would be...
Grocery bag, to me. You go grocery shopping, you get a grocery bag.
What is this thing in America of not having handles on your bag? You've got to like hold it like a baby in a carton.
That's not always true. Okay, sometimes yes, you have the paper bags. That honestly, it's an adorable way to carry groceries, but typical grocery bags are the ones with the handles, and typically they're made out of plastic, so they're not the biodegradable material that we see here in Europe, unfortunately.
Because in the films, everyone's around with the big.
I know it's the romantic version of the grocery shopping.
Old style, okay.
Old time, yeah.
Okay. And what would you call a grocery bag or a shopping bag?
You'd call it a packet or a grocery bag.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. Okay, we've got the food. We're ready to eat. It's like, what, in England, 6:30. In Italy, definitely later, 7:38. In America...
6:37, something along those lines.
So
South Africa as well, 6:37. Depends. It depends also, I suppose, on the time of year. Because, I mean, the summer maybe you eat a bit later.
Sure. Yeah.
But, yeah.
So basically, it is dinner time in England. Or supper, you could also say supper.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, what about this whole idea of tea that you guys call it?
Yes, please
tea
explain this.
Sure.
I don't understand.
Sure, yeah, tea, because tea, when we're talking about tea, we're talking about mainly about high tea. So it's like the equivalent of a brunch, which is mid-morning. So a kind of early dinner, let's say, a very elaborated tea and biscuits and savory and sweet together is like high tea. So we've got, come round for tea, which is scones and jams and so on. So it could be 5-ish, 5:30. So it's a kind of brunch put off into the afternoon, let's say.
Okay.
Now let's look at another topic, which we all love, but we do have to make sure to clarify so we know we're talking about the same thing, which is clothes, fashion, and shopping. So our first one is going to be the things you wear on your feet when you're doing some exercise, you're going on a walk outdoors. In the States, we call them sneakers or tennis shoes. But what about you guys?
Well, in England, they're trainers. Classically, you say trainers.
Well, in South Africa, absolutely not. We call them tackies.
Tackies?
That's great, because in British English, tacky means something that's not very good quality.
Yeah, tacky. Like,
so you're walking around with these horrendous sneakers.
It's a different spelling. It's not that tacky spelling.
Okay.
It's again from Dutch, so it's TAKKIES.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Right. And what about when it rains and you got your classic British wellies, your Wellington boots, so you put on your wellies, your rubber wellies. What do you call those?
No, those are rubber boots.
Rubber boots.
I mean, they're boots and they're rubber. Come on, guys. Makes the most sense.
And you guys?
Well, we often call them gum boots.
Gum boots? Because you chew them, right? Okay.
Naturally.
They were actually used in the mines mainly by the miners.
Right.
And actually there's a famous dance in South Africa, which is gumboot dancing, because, I don't know, you've probably seen it with boots, and then there's some stuff which makes noise, so you can...
Wow, and it's in those types of boots.
Yeah, it's in those types of boots.
They do that in the pub in England. Kind of noisy,
Surely.
Noisy dances, yeah. Well, going on with rain and winter and cold, let's talk about the normally woolen thing you put over your t-shirt or your shirt, which in British would be a jumper.
Yeah, you jump in it? I mean, that doesn't make sense. We call it a sweater.
Oh, because you sweat in it.
Yes.
No, let's see what we call it. What we do with it. We call it jersey.
Oh, you jersey then, right. And what about, it's winter, so ladies need to cover their legs. They are tights in English, in British English.
Yeah.
Yeah, we call them either pantyhose or leggings, depending on the material that they're made of.
Okay.
Yeah, we would also call them pantyhose or stockings.
Oh, stockings, which in English, stockings would be another thing. It's kind of Marilyn Monroe, 1950s. With suspenders and stuff, yeah.
Wow.
It's extremely sexy, stockings. Let's just keep to tights.
One word very important to clarify when you're speaking of between cultures.
And another word that is very important to get between, especially in British English and American English, and probably South African as well, are trousers. So a man puts on a pair of trousers. It could be in general trousers, jeans or cotton or woolen, but trousers. While in American, I know they're called
pants.
Pants. We know what that is in English, in British English. What do you call them in Australian? Australia.
Where are you from?
No, we call them pants as well, or trousers.
Pants?
Actually, you do have a bit of a kind of a leeway in that.
Okay.
No leeway in British English. Pants are underwear and trousers are trousers. So if you go to an English shop and you say, oh, I'd like to try on a pair of pants, they're going to give you underpants, basically.
Ooh, that's awkward. We call the pants underwear, or maybe even like panties.
Yeah.
But I mean,
yeah, we would also call them panties.
What about knickers? Do you call them knickers?
Not really.
Ladies' pants, men's pants. Men don't wear knickers. Ladies wear knickers. Yeah. From Knickerbocker in the pub. Okay, so you got your clothes on. You got your trousers, your jumper. You got your knickers. The style of clothes maybe is casual. Maybe it's kind of a bit la-di-da, a bit posh. How would you say posh?
Oh, you mean fancy?
And you?
We would say Lani.
Lani. Who is this guy? Okay, you're going to buy all your clothes now, so you're going to pay with your credit card or some kind of electronic payment perhaps, and you're going to get a receipt for the payment you made.
Yeah.
Also in the States, they give you a receipt.
We say receipt, but we also say slip.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's like the thing you do when you step on a puddle of water.
When you see how much you pay.
Yeah, exactly.
Since we do need to get somehow to the shops to do all the shopping.
That's true.
Here is some useful vocab regarding roads and transport. Now, we have, in most cities, loads of robots.
Sure.
That's learning.
That is a robot. It's certainly not a traffic
You're very
light.
advanced. So it's the robots that tell you to go or stop or slow down.
So you turn right, and the robot.
She's talking about a traffic light.
Oh, the stoplight. Okay.
Traffic light.
Stoplight. Yeah, you have to stop at the stoplight.
Yeah, but when you're going to go,
it's the go light.
just stop and that's it. Okay. Then you're in your car at your stoplight, at your robot, and at your traffic light, and let's look at parts of the car. All right, you put your groceries, your shopping, in the back part of the car where you store things, which in British English is the boot.
Oh, no. We call this the trunk. The trunk.
No, South African English is also boot.
Boot. Guys, it's what you put on your foot. That makes sense.
Well, that's plural, though.
Fair. And then when you're in the car and you're driving and you meet that part of the road that's a circle and you have to yield, what would you guys call that?
Well, for me, that's a roundabout.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also call it roundabout or just plain circle.
Circle.
Okay. Because we don't have many of these in the States. So we do steal your word. We use roundabout or maybe traffic circle.
Traffic circle. Yeah. Okay. You're in your car. You've stopped at a traffic light. You've done your roundabout. You've got to go to the loo. You know? That's classic. In the middle of the traffic,
Typical.
you need to go to the loo. It's typical, very British. You've got to go to the loo. L-O-O, the loo. What's the loo?
No, the loo is the bathroom or restroom,
right.
simply.
Yeah, in South African English, we call it bathroom, toilet, or loo.
Aha.
We use everything.
Okay, you guys just everything.
All right.
So talking about our random things, for example, if I were to say to you, cookies.
Cookies. It's like the keys we share together. Something like that.
It sounds like a Coca-Cola, like in a cute little
Let's get
name,
some
like
cookies.
a cookies.
So let's say that we use lots of those here in school.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's the thing that you write with and
On the boards and
on the
stuff.
board. Okay.
As well.
Oh, okay. We call these markers.
Markers, yeah, or felt tip pens. We're very precise on this. Felt tip pens, absolutely.
All of those words. Wow, it's so many.
Well, after felt tip pens, we can talk about another thing that has a similar shape, but is for your lips, which would be the lip balm.
Oh, yes, we call this chapstick to help with your chapped lips, lipstick, chapped lips, chapstick.
Sure.
Yeah, well, we call it lip ice.
Nice.
Ooh, that's nice. I like that.
Right, yeah, right. And another thing is typically British. This is very British because it's from London. It's from Latin in reality, this word. A way of saying pounds in English, in slang, is quid, which is a word that comes exactly from Latin. It means an amount. So 10 quid is like saying 10 pounds. I know in America there's also a slang word for dollars. Yeah.
Yes, it's bucks.
Oh,
$10.
$10.
Or it
right.
costs a buck.
Yeah, we use also bucks.
Oh, okay. Right. And another one that's very different from British English to American, at least I know, is the mobile phone. When I ask you for can I have your
yes.
mobile number, I mean your
The cell phone or the cell
yeah,
number.
right.
Yes.
Cell number. Okay.
Yeah, we also call it cell phone.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now another British slang word for example, a boy would be a lad or laddie. As for a girl, would be a lass. These are words that come from, or lassie, these come from Scottish, to be honest, and have diffused, spread over into normal British. So he's a nice lad, he's a nice guy.
Oh, wow.
Man.
You still say that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's
A lad.
so old English.
A bloke, a guy, a lad, yeah.
No, we just say guy.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that guy over there, but only for men, not for women.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Guy.
Yeah.
We would also say guy.
And then let's talk about getting drunk, yeah? Okay, great.
Ah, yes, very good.
So where you buy spirits, which in American spirits would be liquor.
Liquor.
Yeah. Which sounds like a lollipop to me, liquor. But
No.
no, spirits, you go to the off license, which is the shop that sells spirits, or often said offie. Let's go to the offie and get some whiskey.
Interesting. We call this the liquor store. You buy liquor at the liquor store. Very simple.
Yeah, but you don't buy drugs at the drugstore, now, do you? You
Well,
buy,
depends.
which would be the chemist. the drugstore.
We actually call it the bottle store, which is far easier. Yeah, just go to the bottle
Very
store.
vague. Okay.
Boy, the eternal difference between at least American and British English, football, which for you guys is
Yes, that's American football. Like hut hut. That's for us. It's soccer. The one with the black and white ball and
yeah, sure.
goal.
Right.
Football, yeah, we would also say football.
And then other differences are things like corridor and pavement, which would be in the street, which is for you guys is a sidewalk.
Sidewalk. You walk on the side of the street.
The underground,
This is the subway,
subway. The corridor would be the
hallway.
or the
Passage.
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 Right.
Interesting.
And when you're not feeling so well, you classic, we're saying British, I'm feeling quite poorly.
Yeah, that means you don't have enough money.
That's
In my opinion.
exactly.
Yes, I think we agree on this one. We feel sick, right?
Exactly. Exactly. You're sick. And
You're
that's
sick.
it.
Yeah, no, you are sick in English, but you feel poorly. Within the details. Okay, well, there we've done quite a large panorama of various words connected to America, to England, and to South Africa. And as you see, so let's imagine you could add on to this Canada, Australia, New Zealand. They're going to have some other words even more, I'm sure. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
keep an eye out for other variations you may see. This wasn't everything, and we apologize for it.
And you could actually challenge your friends and family to figure out what variation it is and what you are talking about.
If you found this video enjoyable, you liked it, it was useful, you found it interesting, let us know. Share some curiosities also of your country, because I'm sure also in your country or countries there are various ways of saying the same thing. It depends if you're in the north or the south and so on.
All right, well.
And sorry, before we forget, please remember to like this video and also subscribe to our channel, because really your help.
Yes, we appreciate your support, and yeah, I think that's everything.
That's everything. So everybody, see you soon for another video on something else. Take care.
Yeah, thanks for watching.